G'day everyone, my name's Jess and today I'm going to show you exactly how to set up a listing on Etsy. I wanted to go through this with you because it's one of the first things you need to do when you set up your shop. In fact, you can't open a shop until you've set up a listing. And I want to make sure that you understand the importance of all the different elements of your Etsy listing. So let's get started. I'm in my listings dashboard on my shop manager, but if you are setting up a shop for the first time, you will simply be prompted to set up a listing as part of that process. So you want to click on the add a listing, and here is our listing setup. So the first thing, of course, is to add your photos. Now they have some great examples here for you, some prompts for the type of photos that you might like to add, and they give you some tips over here for information about what makes good photos as well. So those are really good. Make sure to understand those and take advantage of those when you are uploading your photos. So you don't have to upload 10 photos, okay? You can just upload however many you need to upload, but the more photos you upload, the more people will know about your product and get a feel for your product. So here I'm going to upload my leaf threaded earrings. So I've got, here's sort of my draft pictures, but I've edited these photos and these are the ones that I have determined I want to add. Not all of them, but some of them. So let's start with this one and this one. So just go ahead and kind of upload all of the photos you have here. Did I do that one yet? It won't let you upload the same photo twice, so don't stress if you try to upload the same photo. It just won't let you do it. A couple of different model shots there as well, and we'll add that one. Now, where it's got this little warning, the reason it's got that is because the picture for some reason is like not at their optimum size. So you want to, as I said here, you want your photos to be at least 2000 pixels wide. I think mine is something like 1900 something. So, but I'm not too concerned. As far as I'm concerned, that's close enough. So we're going to go with that. And then you want to think about, how to arrange these photos to kind of show off your work to its best. I've got sort of, do I want that one as my main photo or do I want that one as my main photo? You want something that shows your product off nice and clearly, but also captures people's attention. I'm going to go with this one because I just think it's a little bit more interesting and dynamic. And then I'm going to go put that one there. I'm going to put a model shot down here because remember, as people flick through, you kind of want stuff to be a little bit interesting. And also remember, and you won't know this necessarily at first, but once you finish your listing, if you add a video, which we'll get to in a minute, that will actually be the second thing that shows up. So there'll be a photo, and then the second thing people go to will be a video. So just keep that in mind also. I might let's have a look at this one. Do I want to use this picture? Yeah, I think so. I think I might just get rid of this one because that's enough. Okay, so I've got my photos there. Now, you can actually adjust these. If you've uploaded them and the crop is a little bit off and you don't like it, you can actually change that here. You can change the dimensions and you can actually crop your picture right here from the Etsy platform. I definitely recommend you adjust your thumbnail so that your product is as big in the frame as possible while not cutting off any part of the product. You do not want to cut off the edges. This is a massive mistake I see heaps of people make, is that they crop stuff way too tightly and they end up cutting off like that bits of their product. Make sure your whole product is visible, okay? Because also, it's going to show this in search, but when somebody clicks through, they'll see the whole photo. So it's okay to crop it in a little bit more here. Okay, fantastic. So just a note with this warning here about the photos being at least 2000 pixels wide, definitely aim for as close to that as possible. Like don't upload really low quality, a couple of hundred pixels wide pictures because they just won't look good on as good as the higher resolution ones. Okay, so here we now can add a video. Now, this is a really good thing to do because it allows you to show off your product in a more realistic way because it's moving, it's a video. 5 to 15 second video, all right? It won't have sound. so don't worry about the sound in it. But they give you some examples here about what you can do. They also recommend you record on high resolution, so record on HD or 4K when you are making this video. And they've got a little link here to more information about how to make a video, so that's a great resource as well. So you want to click on here when you have a video to add. I've got one here showing you how to insert these earrings because they're a little bit unusual in that you have to put them in from the back for them to sit properly. So I've got that video that I have created, and literally all I did was I just filmed it on my phone and then I cropped it and uploaded it. And you don't even have to do the cropping, you can just upload it here. So that is the step 2. So it can be as simple as like holding the product and moving it around. Don't overthink this. Don't get caught up thinking it has to be some sort of super duper fancy magical video. It can be something really simple. So I'll show you that video now. So this was just taken literally from an Instagram reel I did, and I just took the snippet, that snippet, I edited it down to a 15-second snippet to show you how to put the earring on, and that's as simple as that. Okay, so the next step is the listing details. Now, what I want you to know here is as I go through this, it's going to change. What shows up here is going to change based on what I put at the top. So I'm going to just leave the title for a second. And we're going to start with category. So first of all, let's just do this bit about this listing. Who made it? What is it? And when did you make it? Okay. Now, everything that pops up in this area here is something called attributes of your product. So everything, not the title or the description, but all the other bits and pieces are attributes, and they act as tags or search keywords in search. So fill in as many attributes as you possibly can. So click on this if you're not sure about what's allowed and what's not on Etsy and learn that. But let's start here. Who made it? I did, a member of my shop, or another company or person. If you're a hand maker, that's you. If you have somebody who works directly for you, a member of my shop, somebody who works in your location or for your business directly, a member of my shop. If you are doing print on demand or you outsource the actual making to someone who is not in your company, that is the one that you choose. So I did. What is it? It's either a finished product or a supply or tool to make things. So mine are a finished product. When did you make it? Okay, so here we have our options. If you're selling vintage, it's going to be in this section. If you made it recently, or it's made to order, which is what I do. So all my products are made to order. Okay, so the next thing is the category. And what we want to do here is we want to start writing what we made. So these are earrings. And what it will do is it will give you a whole bunch of suggestions, okay, for what you could choose. So that's dangle and drop earrings, stud earrings, hoop earrings, just earrings in general. But see how it's in the wedding category? Earrings and threader earrings. So I'm going to go with threader earrings because this is the type of earring that threads through the ear. And see, as soon as I pick that, it now puts my item in the jewelry category, the earrings category, and the threader earrings category in search. And it has brought up a whole bunch of attributes to choose from. Now, just to quickly show you an example here, let's say I'm making a bag. Let's say it is a tote bag. Now, that has brought up a whole bunch of different attributes. So these attributes are going to change depending on what category you choose, okay? So this is why choosing your category is really important, because it's going to affect all these other things. Okay, then we want to go through and fill out as many of these as we can. Material, it's sterling silver. Do we have that there? We have silver, so let's select that. You can select multiples. Gemstone doesn't have any gemstones, so I don't enter that one. Primary color, silver. Secondary color, I don't have one. Length, so I can put in my size here in the the size that I choose. So let's say 2 inches. The width, let's say 1 inch. Okay, so you can put your measurements in there. Recycled, yes, if your item contains, yes it does. Some of my silver is recycled, sterling silver. And so here's sustainability. I can add a bit more details, recycled metal. Okay. And again, this will vary depending on what categories you choose. Shape. So go through here. Is there one, a leaf? Yep. Cut type, don't have a gemstone. Setting, again, don't have a gemstone. Closure, it's a threader. So an ear for the earlobe. And if I hadn't chosen threader up top, it would have given me different closure options here to choose from. The style, I'm going to call this a minimalist style. There's no particular occasion this is for, so I'm going to leave that blank. Again, there's no particular celebration this is for, so I'm going to leave that blank. Recipient, generally speaking, I would say probably girls, women, possibly unisex adults as well. Theme, so let's have a quick look. There's floral, nautical, people, plants and trees is my theme. Perfect. Cannot be personalized. Although yeah, I could say yes, and then that would be for something that you can change the color of, or that you can maybe stamp or something like that. All right, so that is our attributes. And as I said, each one of these that you choose is going to act as a keyword in search. So it's really important that you fill those in. Then we've got our renewal options. So do we want to automatically renew it or manually renew it? I leave mine on automatic because I want my stuff's made to order and I want it to automatically renew when it expires or sells out. My type of product, physical product or a digital product, it's a physical product. Okay, then we've got our description. Again, we'll come back to that. This is the more in-depth stuff. I'm just trying to taking you through the simple stuff first. Production partner. So a production partner is anyone who's not part of your Etsy shop who helps you physically produce your items. So if you design your products but you outsource the manufacturing, you must put your production partner information here. Okay, so all of this information has to be entered because you need to prove that you're not a reseller, you're not a drop shipper, you're not just buying stuff from AliExpress and reselling it on the platform, okay? All right, then we've got our section. So this is where, if you haven't already, you want to think about creating sections in your shop. So that's on your shop. I will just show you mine. So when you're in a shop like this, these are your sections down here, okay? So that is what they're talking about when they're talking about sections. So what you want to do is, if you haven't already created a section, you want to think about, what should I call the section in my shop? I might call it threaded earrings or minimalist earrings or simple silver earrings or just silver earrings, whatever. But I have simple threaded earrings, so that is the category I'm going to put this in. Again, this section, it doesn't affect your Etsy search at this point in time, but it will have an impact on external search. So Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, etc. That can potentially, that section is basically a page on your website. So think about how to name that so that it's understandable to your customers, but also search friendly. Okay, then we've got tags and materials. Again, we're going to come back to those because that's the stuff that involves deep thinking. Same with your pricing here. So I am in Australia and we have this thing called domestic and global pricing. If you're in the US, or I think India is the other country, this is not available to you, so don't worry about this. You won't be able to see it. But for me, I switched this on because I want to offer a different price in Australia to everywhere else. And the reason I want to do this is because I have free shipping in my shop, but shipping in Australia is a couple of dollars, whereas international shipping is like $25 or $30. So I need to make my prices internationally much higher to cover that cost. So say this one's going to be $55 within Australia, it'd be about $80 to ship it overseas. Okay, so this is in AUD, Australian dollars, which with the exchange rate, this is going to show up in US dollars for at this point in time when I'm recording this, about $55, $60. So that is something to consider with your pricing. I have a whole bunch of videos on all of these stuff. I have one on the pricing formula I recommend you use. I will put a link to that in the description and up the top, so you can check that one out later. If you're not sure of your pricing, strongly recommend you watch that video after this one. Okay, so then quantity. If this is a one-of-a-kind product, obviously your quantity will be 1. However, if it is like I make they're reproducible products. I'm just going to put 10. I could put 100 if I wanted to, whatever, because it's just going to keep renewing. This is an SKU that is for you. So if you have inventory software or something where you actually use SKU numbers to organize your inventory, this is where you put that number. Okay. Then we have variations and personalization. So variations are where you have a different color or size, for example. So you can add that in here. And again, this stuff, you know, here's all the different types of variations. You can also create your own variation. Okay. So cancel that. I'm not doing any variations. This is really helpful if you have different sizes, different colorways, whatever it is. If you do, I do strongly recommend you list each one separately, but add the variations to each of those listings. So say you make a bag in 5 different colors. I would list that bag 5 times in your shop with a different color as your main variation each time, but with all the other options in the variation section. And the reason I suggest this is because it gives you more reach in search. And also people are more, you know, if they see a bag they like but it's in the wrong color, they're less likely to click on it. Whereas if they, you know, they want a blue bag but you've got the red bag showing in the search, they don't necessarily know there's a blue bag option. So list it in all the different variations separately, but also then add the variations in each of those listings. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the next thing is personalization. So let's turn that on. Is there something that can be personalized about your product? You can actually describe it here and it will give them instructions. So on my wedding ring orders, for example, I actually write in this little box, please leave your wedding ring size here, and then people can then write it. You can make this optional or required for people to check out. So this is also a really good point to put something, say there's something different or unique about your product that they might not have noticed from the photos, but that they would know if they read the description. What you can actually do here is write a disclaimer, basically. Say, I understand, and then write what it is, that special thing they need to know. So they actually have to click or say yes in order to purchase the product. So later on, they can't come back and go, oh, I didn't know that, because they literally had to agree to it here before they bought the product. So that is another useful use that you could use for this section. The reason I use it for wedding ring sizes is because when I bring down right at the top here, when I enter in a ring, it actually gives me the option to put an attribute in here that is ring size. However, it only allows me to use one sizing system, and I have customers all over the world who use different sizing systems. So I don't want someone to come along and see an Australian sizing system in the, you know, a US customer. They'll see an Australian sizing system and go, I don't know what my size is, and then they'll click away and buy from someone else. I want to give them the option to give me their size in their own native sizing system, because I can change it really easily. I can convert it really easily. So that's why I do that this way. So that's something to think about. Is there something special about your product that you need to take into account when it comes to that? Okay, delivery. Here we've got our delivery profiles. Now, if you haven't already set up a delivery profile, you're going to need to do that here before you can set up your delivery. I'm not going to go into that in this video. If you're interested and you'd like me to do a video on delivery profiles, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to do that. But basically, I have a whole bunch of stuff here. So I'm just going to choose this delivery profile, which I've already done previously. So you can see here, I've got all of this information, the processing time, origin, postcode. I have my standard delivery options, and then the countries that I ship to, and then the upgraded options. So you can offer upgrades for express post, tracked postage, all that sort of stuff in here. The customs information. So if you are purchasing an international postage label on Etsy and you want the tariff number to be placed on it, you can put that here. Okay, this may or may not show up in your shop depending on your location, but if you're selling internationally, this is something you need to, you don't necessarily have to put this in here, but you will have to, if you sell internationally to a certain country, you will have to put that information in here. Review postage price. Okay, so you can check what your postage prices are here. Okay, returns and exchanges. You want to choose the returns and exchanges policy that applies to your listing. So this is the one that I have active, 7-day return policy, but only on certain items. So then we have no returns or exchanges as well. All right, and this, like, all my rings, I do the no returns or exchanges because they're custom orders and I cannot resell them. I've made them in a custom size. Whereas these earrings, I could resell them if somebody bought them, got them, didn't use them, but they were happy to return them. So I will choose that one. And this is just information about EU law. If you're selling to the EU, it requires professional sellers to offer 14-day return policy. So just keep that in mind as well. And then marketing, do you want to advertise this listing or not? So this is part of the on-site Etsy ads that that's what they're talking about here. I've just done a video not too long ago about Etsy ads. Again, I'll link to that in the description. If you're unsure about Etsy ads, I talk about the types of ads, on-site, off-site. I talk about my experience with ads. If I use them, yes, I do, but how do I use them and why? And so you can choose whether you want to advertise this listing or not from this screen. Okay, so that is the basics. Now let's go back and do the detailed part, and that is the titles, the tags, and the description. Okay, so your titles, your tags, your description, your attributes, and your categories, all of these things will influence where your item shows up in Etsy search. So here's my title. Here's a title I prepared earlier. Stylized leaf threaded earrings, handcrafted from ethical sterling silver, lightweight, minimalist, everyday wear, gift for plant lovers. So there's a whole bunch of keywords in here that I'm targeting. Okay, so leaf threader earrings, handcrafted, you could put handmade, ethical sterling silver, you could put recycled, lightweight, minimalist, everyday wear, a gift for plant lovers. So these are all keywords that I have chosen to target, and I will experiment with those over time and see how they affect my products. But you want to use words that you think people are going to use to search for your product. Okay, that is the ultimate thing to ask yourself. What word is somebody going to use to search for my product? Now, if you want some help with your keyword research, and I recommend you get some, I have a free download. I'll put a link to that at the top of the description. It's Etsy Keyword Planner, and I ask you a whole bunch of questions to help you brainstorm keywords for your listing. So that should be step one, is brainstorming all the potential words that describe your product that people might use to search for your product. And from there, you can then narrow down your keywords and research. There's a couple of tools I recommend. I'll quickly show you. So the first one is something called Sales Samurai. So if I search leaf earrings, so I have Sales Samurai installed here, and that's what these blue circles are. So what this is showing me, this is the Sales Samurai extension. It's showing me the search volume for each of these search terms, okay? And then it's giving me related keywords. So this is really, really useful. You're just doing this right on Etsy, okay? So, okay, leaf earrings silver. I'm going to click through and see what the related keywords are, and it's going to bring it up here in Sales Samurai, and it's going to give me an enormous list of related keywords. I mean, it's insane. There's so many options. And it's going to give me the search volume, the competition, how many words are in it. All right. So you can then go through this and you can find other keywords that might be interesting to you or that might be useful. Like, hey, 950? I think 925, that makes me think sterling silver 925, maybe that's one. Leafs earrings, like misspelling. Leafs earring, leaf ear jacket, okay. Oh, the type of leaf, like could I say the type of leaf? Look, taro leaf earring is quite high up here, aspen leaf. These are what people are looking for. So this could even give you ideas for new products, okay. So it's great examples. And then just kind of go through and see if there's any other keywords in here that look interesting. And if there are, you can copy it to clipboard, okay, which is really helpful. Or you can actually click through. So here, leaf thread earrings. Let's click on that. Let's see what that shows me over here on Etsy. And I can see some examples of what people are making with this sort of keyword. Sales Samurai is one tool. Another tool I use is Allura. So here in Allura, here's a keyword finder. All right, so if I, again, enter leaf, keep writing that R, I don't know why. Leaf earrings, we'll search for that. Okay, so here is my results on Allura for the keyword leaf earrings. How many views, the average price, how many competing shops, how many favorites, competition of listings, listing age, how many sales, and the main category. And here it's going to start loading up a whole bunch of related keywords or similar keywords. And again, this is giving me some good ideas. Gift for her, statement earrings, dangle, handmade earrings, and it's going to give me all of this data as well. So this is and this will keep loading over time. It's going to keep giving you more and more, and it will give you some more suggestions. So it analyzes all the listings, and you can look through here and see which keywords are going to be most useful to you. So again, I'll put the links to Sales Samurai and Allura in the description if you want to check either of those out. Okay, so we've got our title. Now let's do our tags, because they are related to basically what we have in our title. We want to have similar things here. So after doing our tag keyword research, with Allura, with Sales Samurai, whatever, however you're doing it, then you come across here and put all those tags in here as you go. So the thing I want to point out here is materials act as tags. So I'm going to put sterling silver. I'm also going to put 925 silver, because it's another word for the material, and I could also put, just silver, because that's all true. They're all ways of saying what my materials are. Okay, I could even say metal, because that would be another potential keyword somebody might put in. And then I want to put my other tags in here. So I'm not going to make you sit through me typing all the tags in, but I do want to make a few points as I go. So you want to use as much of the space here as possible. You don't want to just put like single words in as much as you possibly can. So, I've got multi-word phrases here. Recycled, reclaimed. So it's ideal if you can put a long tail keyword like everyday wear, something 2 words together somebody might search, but it's also worth using the space to just get these individual keywords in there: reclaimed, recycled, eco, ethical, because it will still show up in search. The Etsy search algorithm's smart enough to separate these words out and show it up if either or of them are shown in search as well. Okay, so now I've got a whole bunch of keywords in here: simple leaf earrings, vegan, vegetarian, handmade earrings, gift for her, plant lover, plant people. Technically, I probably shouldn't have repeated the word plant there. That was really not necessary. Oh, I've got it in there as well. So let's fix that. So leaf, nature, woods, just something else related to nature here. So we want to get as many words in that someone might use to search for this product. Okay, and again, over time you can refine this, do your keyword research, see what keywords are, which keywords are working to bring people to your shop and which aren't, and you can refine it. Now, the final thing is your description, the most detailed thing. This does also affect your search results these days, so you want to have keywords in there as well. So here is my description. Now, this part here is pretty much all the same in every single one of my listings. So I talk about the variations due to handmade. I talk about this is how our products are made, telling about our ethically manufactured sterling silver. Then I have all shipping information here. So all of that stuff this is just copied and pasted from different listings. So that's going to be mostly the same every single time. It's this top part that's going to change, and that's going to be different depending on what the product is. So you can see a stylized leaf earring design, lightweight threaded earrings. Again, look how many keywords I've gotten into that first sentence while still making a sentence that's readable to humans. The perfect pair of earrings for plant lovers would make a fabulous gift. And then I tell you a little bit more about it. A tip: these need to actually be inserted from the back of the ear. You can see how to do this in the listing video. And then I give the measurements here, even though that's going to show up on my attributes in the listing in the shop. I still want to tell them about it here. And I also explain that they're made from slightly thicker gauge wire than normal earrings, just so people aren't surprised about that. So there are, of course, heaps of different ways to do your descriptions. You could break it down into more sections, which is probably a great idea, like using little emojis and things. You could put measurement and so on. But at the end of the day, just remember, this counts towards your search engine optimization on Etsy. It helps your items get found in search. So whatever you write in here will impact that. So just make sure to get those keywords in there as well. And there we go. We have filled in everything we need to do in order to set up our product. We've got our photos, our video, our title, our categories, listing details, all of our attributes filled in. We have got a nice, clean, clear description. We have our tags, our materials, which remember act as tags in search. We have our prices, quantities, any variations, personalizations, delivery. We have customs information if necessary, postage, returns and exchanges, your policies, and your marketing. And once you have done all of that, you are ready to rock and roll, and you can actually publish your product by clicking the publish button right down here. Or if you want to come back and work on it later, you can save it as draft. And here's what it looks like on the platform itself. This is my actual original listing, so there's a few little changes, like the price is slightly different, for example. But you can go through here, you can flick through all your pictures, your video, and so on. And then down here, here's your title, okay, up here. And then here are all the details you put in the attributes section and your description. So there's your details, the attribute section. Here's your description, everything you wrote in there. You've got your delivery and return policies. It'll give an estimated arrival and dispatch and delivery date based on what you put in the shipping profile. Okay, so it's important you have that information in there as well. Returns and exchanges information, shop policies, FAQs, and more about your sellers down here, and then more from your shop, and then related items and so on. There you go. That is your listing. Oh, and reviews, of course. A few people have already bought these earrings from me. So you're seeing the reviews for these products right here, for this product right here. But also, if nobody's purchased from you yet, but you have other reviews, they will show up under here to show you what the shop is all about. And that is it. Good luck setting up your listing on Etsy. If you have any questions on this, pop them in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos on how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business. Before you go, I talked earlier about a bunch of videos, but I particularly talked about the pricing formula video, which will blow your mind if you've never really understood what goes into a pricing formula before and why you should be selling at full retail price online. This video is going to explain that for you. I will leave a link to it right here so you can watch that one next. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.